David, you would not believe the number of emails that I have had this week about something that's brand new coming out just last week.
Me
Do
too.
you know what it is?
Yeah, me too. It's insane, isn't it?
It is. It's vaccinating honeybees.
Vaccinating honeybees. Everybody has been asking me, Sherry, about this. Like, hey, David, did you hear? I have been forwarded this news item almost
over and over and
every day,
over.
4 or 5 times every day. David, I thought you'd like to know.
On my phone. It just keeps coming on my phone.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It really is.
But it is a wild thing that is brand new.
Vaccinating bees.
Vaccinating bees for what?
That's the tricky part. I think a lot of people think that they can give their bee one vaccine that will cover all pests and diseases and make your bees make a lot of honey and never sting you again.
Wow.
Okay, that's not what it is.
No stinging vaccine.
It's not a magic vaccine. So I don't want to disappoint you. This vaccine, Sherry, only actually addresses one bacteria, that bacterium in the brood, and that's American foul brood.
Right.
And so American foul brood, by the way, it's interesting. You don't really see it a lot with brand new beekeepers.
When we first started, about a decade ago, I used to get phone calls after phone calls after phone calls about people who think that they had American foul brood and what do they do about
especially
American
in the
foul
fall,
brood.
right? Yeah.
And it's especially in northern Illinois, it seemed like at some time it was, a big issue because there's only one way that we currently deal with American foul brood.
In the state of Illinois.
In the state of Illinois. And that is to burn everything.
Burn everything.
Your hives, your equipment, everything. And
The
nobody
bees.
wants to do that.
Right.
Nobody wants to think I've taken care of these bees. I have
Bought the equipment?
I spent all this money and now the state just wants me to destroy it.
Yeah, and I really do think it's more you see it more often in commercial beekeeping, larger bee operations. And I think sometimes that's because commercial beekeepers or larger operations, they have their comb longer. Unfortunately, I hate to say this, but a lot of new beginners, they lose their bees after 1 year or 2 years, and they don't stay in beekeeping anymore. So commercial beekeepers, larger beekeepers, they've had comb that's really, really old. So, the longer you keep your comb, your drawn out frames, the more susceptible it is that you could have American foul brood spores in between the layers of cocoon that develop in the brood cells.
Okay, so you're saying that American foul brood is mainly in the spores.
Oh, it is a spore, yeah.
And the spores are embedded
in the wax.
in the wax.
Yeah, they are.
What about the wood?
It could be, but not likely. It's going to be more in the brood area.
But for how long, though?
Oh, unfortunately, Sherry, they have taken some samples and have kept them over the years. And now I think we're almost at 80 years. Just shy. That means these spores can just activate up to 80 years. So if you get grandpa's stuff out of the attic that had American foul brood 35 years ago, your bees could contract it. Yeah.
Wow.
But again, let me say, it's so rare. I remember I was at a meeting once here in Illinois, and I listened to the apiary report that they were given, and they gave the report of how much American foul brood they found in their bee inspection program, and it was like 2%. It was very low.
I don't hear hardly anybody anymore ever calling or writing and saying, I've got
either.
American foul brood, or what does it look like?
Not
I don't
at
know
all.
what it looks like. I don't hear it anymore.
Right. Compared to the battle we have with small hay beetle, the battle that we have with varroa destructor mite, American foul brood for the hobbyist is really low, not really on the radar.
Okay.
But I don't want to make it like, okay, David says not to worry about it. I don't need a vaccine. That's not true. It is a real thing. You can get it. It's easily transferable, transmitted from one hive to another by robbers or whatever, a bee robbing out other colonies that have it. So you could get it. I mean, and when you do, it's worse than all the others, right? So American foul brood will destroy a colony. I mean, just wipe it out, kill it. You'll have to kill it. And you're potentially spreading it to other colonies within a 3-mile radius of your house. You don't see that as likely to be the case with European foul brood. Like European, you can recover from, you can kind of deal with it a little bit easier than you can American foul brood.
Yeah.
So it is good that this company tackled the most deadly brood diseases known to beekeepers.
First,
yeah.
All right, so all I can imagine, we've had this great big hullabaloo with vaccinations over the past couple of
Oh
years.
my gosh, that's right.
And it's become very politically charged, and we've got pros
yeah.
and we've cons, and people
Yeah.
fighting against each other, and families falling apart over it.
True.
But so all I can think of is this little tiny syringe that we're going to go up to the honeybees and we're going to vaccinate them. But I'm pretty sure that's not how it's done.
Oh, come on.
So how is it going to be done?
Well, I only know what I've read, and so what I'm reading is that you actually will feed a queen honeybee some type of maybe sugar candy that has the vaccine in it. When she consumes it, then it's stored, or particles of it get into her ovaries, and then when she lays every egg, that egg is going to have some part of that vaccine
Right.
that will be in that developing bee. So this is what we call inheritable immunity. So she has it. So now every egg she lays, that larvae will be not resistant, but immune. That's a better word. They'll be immune from American foul brood. So that's a pretty cool idea. It's an easy way because you don't have to retreat all the time. Like right now, we do have antibiotics, and we can, in some states, they allow you to treat for American foul brood, but you have to do it over and over continually.
The antibiotics.
So this is like a one vaccine, and it's done.
Okay, so you're saying we're going to vaccinate the queens.
Yeah.
It's going to be passed down to her eggs.
Correct.
Okay, so what happens if the queen dies?
Well, if the queen dies, then that's not going to be transferred to her larvae. If she's superseded with the queen, it doesn't have a vaccine, or if you buy a new one that doesn't have the vaccine, then that I'm guessing that I know that the eggs won't be immune. When she lays eggs, those eggs will not be immune. But I think there's a little bit of transferring from bees feeding bees.
Workers to workers?
Workers to workers, where that will last a little bit, but not very long.
Okay.
So you're going to have to buy a queen that has been vaccinated again.
So do you think, David, that we're going to eventually see all queen breeders selling
That's a good question.
vaccinated queens?
I'm wondering now, we're looking at it from the scientific, like oh boy, this sounds great, but we haven't heard I'd like for a lot of you to leave comments, especially those of you that are kind of questionable or disagreeable toward vaccines in humans. And maybe you have some bad thoughts of the vaccines from COVID-19. So I wonder if there are beekeepers that are going to take the opinion, I do not want my bees to have some sort of vaccine in them. I don't know. I'm just wondering.
I don't know either.
I've seen that play out in the last couple of years.
See.
But that's the thing too. Are beekeepers wanting to say, I don't want any intervention. I'm a natural beekeeper. This sounds way over the top for me. I'm not interested. I don't want to buy bees. So with a queen producer, will they have to offer, we have vaccinated, bees, and we have unvaccinated
bees.
or non-vaccinated queens that you can buy.
Right. Well, people have vaccinated livestock for a very long time.
Chickens and cows, absolutely.
And I remember when we kept our chickens, I dug into the ideal of vaccination, and there are two sides of the fence. There are people who say, no, you need to let them build up natural immunities to these things, and if they die, they die.
Right.
And then whatever livestock survives are the ones that don't need to be vaccinated. So I don't know. I'm thinking we're going to hear that from the beekeeping industry as well.
I think we will. I don't know where it's going to go. This is going to probably be released in the spring of this year in the spring. And so I don't know what beekeepers, queen producers, which direction they're going to go with that and how they're going to deal with it. But again, from my point of view, I would say that it looks like a very good opportunity for us to finally protect our bees from American foul brood. I don't know how much I think it's been thoroughly tested. I'm sure it's been thoroughly kind of played out and tested in bees and all. What kind of effect does it have on bees long term? Bees don't live very long, 35 days in the season. But what are their effects? I'm sure it's all been measured out, hopefully. I don't know. The other thing that I'm not clear about is how effective it is. No one has said how effective it is. What is the efficacy? I mean, I've heard some people say, and please don't quote me, I have no data, but I've had some people tell me it's only 30 to 40% effective. Now that may be wrong. It may be 100% effective. I don't know.
Well, that's the
But
thing.
that's rumors. That's
And-
right now. The
Right.
company hasn't really released information like that to tell us it's 100% effective. Every bee that is birthed from this queen will 100% not get American foulbrood. I haven't heard that on things that I've read. That's what I'm wondering about as well.
Okay, right, exactly. And it's hard to come across with that information. I know, for instance, when I was sitting down reading about this, I read article after article after article, and so many of them had such misinformation
yes,
in them.
wrong information.
Wrong information.
Yes.
And that's the way it is sometimes in journalism, that the people who are writing the stories don't always understand
Bees,
the
yeah,
bees or whatever they're talking
Yeah.
about, and they get things wrong here and they get things wrong there. And so it's
Yeah.
one of those things where I think you're just going to have to wait,
Right.
and find out
It's
the
early.
facts.
Yeah, it's
It's
early.
too early to find out right now, but it's exciting. And
Yeah.
so American foulbrood's a bacteria. What do you think about viruses? Do you think they'll ever be able to get around to dealing with viruses?
Yes, absolutely. I think viruses, you have the idea of the bacteria being like an organism, it's alive, it's dangerous. The viruses are different altogether. But I really do think it will be probably within our lifetime that they will be able to just take this right over to some of the more common viruses that we see in our bees today, like the foreign wing virus.
Do you think eventually we'll have like a cocktail of, this vaccine cocktail that we can
Yes.
we just can give it to them and it
Yes.
just takes care of all of these things?
barring
Wouldn't that be exciting?
yeah, it will be exciting. And barring some sort of political play or financial play, you know how that goes sometimes, barring some sort of, we made a huge mistake, look what it's done to our bees.
Yeah.
Barring any of that, yes, we will have a cocktail real soon. And also, I think,
Wow.
I'm sure the company is right now starting to figure out how do we deal with European foulbrood, because it's a bacteria also, and it's more common, way more common than American foulbrood. Here in the state of Illinois a few years ago, oh my gosh, European foulbrood in southern Illinois was so bad. It was so awful. And so it still is a problem.
Wow.
You'll see a lot of you. I've had European
Wow.
foulbrood maybe 10 years ago, and it's contagious, but nothing like, I've never had American foulbrood, never seen it in any of my hives. So yeah, I think they're going to have a cocktail for us.
Oh, that'd be great.
It would be good.
Well, there's so many times that people are like, I don't know what this stuff looks like. I don't know. I have this smell. I don't know why
yeah.
it looks ropey. I don't know what this gunk is.
Yeah.
And, we've got a resource statement that will
We
take
do.
care of that.
For people to understand what they're looking at.
We do. And it's the
I love the
best, It is the
resource.
best resource
I
because
love
it
it.
was
Yeah.
written by our friend, Dr. John
Yep.
Savishlock. And he's been a friend of ours forever and ever and
yeah.
ever and ever. Amen. He's been a friend, and he made these honeybee healthy books.
That's
and
right.
Right now, if you purchase anything from us, over the next week, you get one of these for free.
Wow.
But the problem is,
What's the problem?
I can't read it.
Well, you put your glasses on. You put your readers
Even
on.
with my glasses, I can't
It's
read
small
it.
print.
So we did have it printed up for people who need a much
Oh, yeah,
bigger,
look at that.
a much bigger
Yeah.
copy.
I do like the bigger copy, to be honest with you. When I do my research and study, even getting ready for this video,
But look at these pictures.
It's great. It's got all about American foulbrood.
It does, and it goes
Yep.
through there and it shows you what it looks like in your hive. And so you don't have to sit there and try to guess and see if you can figure out what some of this stuff is. The pictures are great, but that one does cost. But you can find it on our website if you want to get that. I don't think any beekeeper should be without
No, you should not be without
some
that.
sort of book like this where you can
Exactly.
sit there and
I
figure
agree.
out what is going
Now
on
look,
in
the
your hive.
reason John made this size
Yeah.
is because it's a pocket
Right.
edition. It says
Yeah.
right here, pocket
I got
guide.
it. I
You can't
got
put
it.
that in your pocket.
You can take it out to the hive and compare the pictures.
Yeah, you can go,
there's
oh my gosh, what do I have?
And
I
for
got-
you young people, I'm sure it's fantastic.
people with good eyes.
People with good eyes can read
Yeah,
that.
there's even a picture of me doing a mic test in the book. So.
Yeah, and
you
I
took
took
the
that.
shirt.
I took it.
It says Sherry Burns.
I did.
Yeah.
I took the pictures.
Oh, you're in John's book.
We are.
This was actually published from the University of Arkansas. Maybe
Which is where John is at.
Yeah. And so it is a good book. We're going to include these in your orders. We're going to drop them in the box. That way you won't have to ship them to you. But we paid more to have those printed, but you can purchase those as well. So while we're talking about John's book, Sherry, by the way, the symptoms of American foul brood, ready?
Go.
It smells really bad.
It does. It stinks.
It's like
But David,
bad. You want to throw up when
but
you smell
goldenrod smells bad
Goldenrod,
too.
yeah.
What's the difference between those smells? What does American foul brood smell like?
Well, no one can ever describe it other than you just want to throw up when you smell it.
Just a rotten smell.
In one of our master beekeeper events that we had once out east, we actually had one in the testing room. But, it had been eradicated, whatever that word is.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't
You don't
have
walk around with it.
Yeah, but it still smelled so bad. I thought I was going to throw up.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't keep my cookies down. When I smell goldenrod in the fall, I don't want to throw up.
Okay. So don't confuse them.
Yeah.
You smell something bad in the fall. Don't think you've got American foul brood. Get out your little book and find out for sure
Yeah. And-
if it's goldenrod or.
And generally, I've noticed, I don't know that much, I've not had American foul brood, but goldenrod you can smell way outside your hive, like 20 feet away.
You can.
I'm not sure if you can
Really
smell
far.
American foul
It's
brood
really
that
far.
far away, because it's just on some of the frames. I think you'd have to almost get into the hive to smell it. I could be wrong on that. A bad case maybe. But anyway, John and I also wrote another book on raising quality queen bees. So many people love this idea of what I've been teaching on queens. Sherry, I thought about wrapping up my series on queens last week, but I got to keep going.
Oh, okay.
Because everybody at Hive Life
How
came
great
to
for
me.
you.
Yeah, everybody at Hive Life came up to me and said, I loved your series on queens. I can't wait to see more. So I'm going to keep talking about queens off and on.
But David, that brings me up to a point about this vaccination. Will somebody who's raising their own queen be able to get this vaccination?
We don't know the regulations just yet, but all indications from what I've seen, it sounds like yes. That I can simply get it and feed it to my queens
And I don't think a
them.
vet has to be involved in any way.
At this point, I think it still has to go under FDA scrutiny and regulations, and they couldn't have something like that. But right now, we think that it's not going to be like European foul brood, where you have to have a prescription by a vet to treat it. I don't think it's going to be that way, because that's an antibiotic treating European foul brood. This is not an antibiotic.
Right.
So antibiotics you can abuse, and all that, but this is going to be a vaccine. So we'll see how that plays out.
So don't think that's going to be an issue if you decide to raise your own queens, because it will not be an issue. You'll get
that's
to
right.
decide what to do.
Exactly. So anyway, I'm going to talk more about this, but if you want to get this book, we're going to leave some links in the description below for the books that we talked about. Oh, I want to get back to more symptoms. So it's got a bad smell to it. Also, when you look at a frame of brood, what you're going to see is perforated tiny little holes in the brood, the capped over cells. But then it sinks in. Yeah. So it's sunken brood.
Oh, okay.
Pure sunken brood. It looks kind of greasy on the top. Smells bad, greasy. But like you said earlier, you can get a toothpick and put it in there and move it around on the larvae and then pull it out. And if it follows you 3/4 of an inch out and snaps back, it's European foul brood. So it's pretty gross. Oh, I know. It's terrible, isn't it? So bad. That's cool.
And I would suggest that you follow some reputable organizations, beekeeping journals, people doing research,
Yeah.
and not just random blog posts or
People's opinion,
journalists who really don't know what they're talking about.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
sure you're looking at the research.
One journalist said that the drones will feed the queens.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that drones don't feed queens. No, that's just not happening. Drones have something else on their mind.
Yeah.
They're looking for queens,
That's
but not to
right.
feed them.
That's right. That's right. So, we also, when we were at the latest Hive Life conference, which I had fun at, met a lot of people. It was so cool.
Yeah, we did.
But we also met the organization who did Hive Alive.
Hive Alive, often confused with Hive Life.
Yeah.
Everybody
Hive-
says, are you going to be at Hive Alive? Hive Alive is this.
This is this.
I can't get into a bottle.
Right. So this is a really cool. Tell me what this is exactly.
Oh, it's a feeding stimulant. It kind of helps bees. It's more than a stimulant, though. The owner was telling me, I met him there from Ireland, and he was telling me about it has Irish seaweed in it.
I've been to Ireland.
Did you eat seaweed?
I don't remember seeing any seaweed.
Oh, yeah, there's seaweed.
I'm sure there is. It's by the sea.
Yeah, and it's an island, right? So it
Cool.
has to,
So this has got Irish seaweed in it, but we've got several of those
Yeah.
to give away. So how are we going to give those away?
Oh, if you leave a comment below, tell us what your opinion is on this new vaccine coming out for American foul brood. I'll just randomly pick a winner and we'll ship you out a bottle of, and you add this to your feeding, when you're feeding your bees. It's just like something like Honeybee Healthy, things that you've heard of before, but it's just another feeding supplement that you can give to bees. He has done extensive research, valid research showing how good this really does help bees. It really is phenomenal. And I've never tested it, but I'm going to see what it does, kind of start using it on some of my bees, see how well they do.
Well, at the convention too, we had a lot of people that told us they miss coffee time.
Oh, I know. Coffee time.
Yeah,
Coffee time
so-
is something I started years ago here on YouTube. And I would actually just sit around and talk to you guys and about life, about anything going on, drink a cup of coffee with you. So many of you want me to do that we are going to
do.
continue to do that.
You
Coffee
do.
time is back. It's going to be ramped up. So don't feel bad. If you're not a coffee drinker, then bring your bowl of cereal. Or
Tea,
bring your tea.
your orange juice. It
Orange
doesn't make a
juice,
difference.
water,
But we
yeah.
actually had some coffee cups made so that you can drink
Absolutely,
coffee
yeah.
with us. So there are several different kinds. This one says coffee first in beekeeping, which I thought was really, really clever. We've got the other ones, and they all have David's mug. His mug is on the mug.
My mug is on a mug. Coffee
And
time.
so you can get one of these on our website also.
Yep.
And then you can get it all ready when coffee time's coming up. You can get your coffee mug ready and
Absolutely.
you can have coffee with us.
So we'll leave links in the description below where you can purchase these coffee mugs. So you can have coffee time with me or me and Sherry. Have a good time there. I don't see my favorite mug. My favorite one is one with all the different pictures on it.
Yeah, that one's coming up. That's not quite on the website yet.
Oh,
It's-
okay.
It's coming up
That's
soon,
going to be
though.
a good one. Yeah, that's
It
good.
will be. It will be.
Oh, as we continue this talk on the vaccine, we got to ask you to subscribe, but I forgot bobblehead David. Where is he? I'll get him. Oh,
There he is.
boy, he got demoted, didn't he?
Oh, he did.
So
People wanted to see him so bad at the convention.
Bobblehead David reminding all of you guys to please subscribe. Whew. Well, I'm excited about this spring for a lot of you. This is going to be the first year for you to keep bees, and I know you are very excited, and we're excited for you. And I'm just pumped up about all the new beekeepers that are coming into beekeeping in 2023. And I want to encourage you, if you haven't bought your bees yet, Sherry and I are trying to get ahead of the game to encourage you. Please buy your bees now. You have to order them now.
Don't wait.
Don't wait. Do it now. We have our honeybees on sale, 3-pound packages with a mated queen that is not vaccinated yet, as we know. But we'll see how that goes in the spring. But anyway, check out links in my description if you want to get packages or our 5-frame nukes from us in the spring. We'd love to sell you some of that. But otherwise, we have some good videos to help you guys learn how to start beekeeping. Sherry and I worked hard last week making a video, didn't we, on how to get started in beekeeping. We went through the process. So check it out. Let's see, over here. And watch this video so you can learn how to get going in 2023. Come be a beekeeper with us. I'll see you over there.